ordered a trailer, and here it is. Even if they weren't expecting it, it arrived. Anyway, I'm explaining the situation. An unexpected visitor dropped by, completely unplanned. What's here? Remnants of a titanium thread. Here's a buckle. This thing fell off. Now I'll even tell you why. And there's a twisted nail plate, some pieces of skin. All this has dried up, twisted. And the most ridiculous thing is that it interferes with normal everyday life, because this person is in everyday life. I've been watching him. He's constantly picking at his middle finger because it's always uncomfortable for him to touch it. So what was here? There was a trauma somewhere in December in the yard. Now it's April, and there was such a normal hematoma. His wife is a manicure master, and so it happened that the guys came to visit me in the salon, actually with a completely different purpose. When I saw this finger, I was speechless. We were already seated and recording the content. Because first of all, I realized that it would be good to help here to alleviate the situation a bit, and secondly, I thought it would be great content. So what are we going to do? We will now remove the remnants of the titanium thread. I will use a hard ball for this, and we will also trim what can be called a free edge. That is, we need to do all this thinner. For this, hard alloy cutters are definitely needed, otherwise it will take a long time. As promised, I will explain why the titanium thread here has peeled off, chipped off, and essentially did not work well. In general, what can I say? In fact, all his other nails are trapezoidal, and this one became so twisted after the trauma. And the thing is, he is very scared. He is just, in general, he is constantly uncomfortable. That is, he experiences pain. And yes, as promised, you see the other fingers look like this. He is very scared, with constantly sweating palms. He experiences increased sublimation. Here I show that the remnants of a dry nail are like this, like stubs after pains. Overall, everything has contracted, dried out, twisted, and become stuck. The effect is like peeling off a coat that is stuffed inside. Our task is to pull it out from there. To pull it out, I will need help. As you can see, I sawed it with a cutter, used a cigarette, poked around and tried to get it, but it's stuck. What needs to be done? Of course, you need to soften all this well. And here it didn't turn out elegantly, sorry. I take special drops, which are just needed to soften and facilitate processing.
And in such states, and with a grown nail, in general, now our nail will be more elastic and more mobile.
This is precisely what you can observe now. The only amendment is that I worked super carefully, practically in the air, barely touching, because he reacted to everything with an ouch and so on. Well, it happens. It's heightened sensitivity, and of course I'll have to work more carefully. First, I'll use the nippers. They're standard and not tricky. Now the number, well, I'll display the name on the top screen so you have the opportunity to see it. Nippers for cuticles, that is, not for nails, but specifically for cuticles, because they have the ability to do super fine work. Because here I will have to sweat a lot. And this is the main movement that I needed to make. That is, you see, I'm directing it from that side, turning out the thin remnants of the nail plate, in short, and so on. But it all sticks into the skin, and because of this, the nail cannot grow normally. We need to get all this happiness out now. Well, returning to the conversation about Titanic while I somehow went out of frame, I think you asked me about it. The situation was tense there. I want to say that the Titanic did not work here. Firstly, because it was bouncing off, and secondly, because there was no opportunity to put it where it really needed to dig in. As you can see, even after a little cleaning, we can observe that the nails themselves are very strongly twisted inward on the sides. Since our nail plate is trapezoidal, we examined the other nails and determined that all of this occurred somewhere, specifically inward. In this case, we look at this corner. You see there is a lot of such compressed skin, a large part of this angle. It has sunk into the skin. In essence, we observe the growth of the nail plate on the finger, which unfortunately often happens with injuries. That is, either when it happens, a girl has made super long nails, it flew off somewhere in her life, she banged it, hit it, or in our case here is a man who does not paint his nails and does not like to do manicure at all because he is all such super sensitive. But he came, there was a severe hematoma. I will also attach the photos here or have already attached. You scroll down, take a look. In any case, well, as it happens, it's unpleasant, but it's all fixable in reality. The question here is how we will proceed. When I asked about a correction system, they confirmed there was a delay. I thought that maybe we need to clean up and install, for example, a unibrow. Well, such a delicate, exquisite, beautiful one, but in the process of cleaning, closer to the end, a completely different decision was made. I decided to do a prosthetic on these nails. I can even explain. The topic of prosthetics is very slippery. Perhaps someone from Podolgov's eyes twitched, for instance. Yes, I can say that with 100% certainty. It's absolutely impossible to say in what situation it is still necessary, in which it is not. But I can explain here my logic, which I use. Why did I decide that the protest is needed here? Well, first of all, because we see that we have a very strong pressure on the skin, it really bothers us a lot. Correction systems on hands are always also such a fine line, because even when you choose the thinnest thread wire, you can overdo it and turn this nail inside out completely. In general, I thought that in this situation we will go a slightly different way. We will be bending and moving the skin, and in the stretch state we will fit half of the nail plate. While you watch, I continue to very meticulously and for a long time do the cleaning. In this case, I'm already working with a diamond cutter. I took a blue handle with a sharp tip to be able to get into all places. Believe me, I've cut out those parts where he was pulling this finger away from me. This is precisely the moment when you can observe that everything is being tightened there as well. I'll tell you about the tools. All tools are from Nippon Knipers. Everything here is stable. That is the cigarette and pieces, hard alloy cutter. This is a beautiful ball. This is a Kamizovskaya cutter. They have such a set of 5 small balls. They are very useful in such cleanings. My diamonds are also from KMI, a super tool that I save myself with. For spreading nail plates, I use tools from Domix. And while I continue to process with these little pieces, I will already move on to our story. Next, about the prosthetics, I will perform the prosthetics with the prosthetic gel, which I have already shown more than once before. I'm unable to name the gel for you. The law of advertising explains why the gel will be noticed and talked about by my longtime followers. If anyone guesses what the gel is, wink in the comments. Well, sort of like that. In this video, I don't have an advertising integration over the gel, but I do have it on some beautiful pieces. I was admiring a trinket in the video, thinking how something can look beautiful and precise in the package, but once taken out, it's just a trinket. By the way, sometimes such spots speak about it, usually more precisely, that you have poorly washed the instrument from the disinfectant, therefore wash the instrument more thoroughly. Now you are observing that I am already cleaning this side groove, bending the roller strongly. We see remnants here too, stuck there, I don't know, of what? Nail, flesh, skin, something else. That is all these unpleasant things that we need to remove. I'm being as careful as possible to get what can be retrieved. I take the hard alloy cutter into my hands again. This, by the way, is absolutely normal, to alternate constant tools. That is, there is no such thing that you clean with one thing. No, you will always alternate. Using this tool makes it easier to access the area. To answer your question directly, how long does this type of work typically take you to complete? It takes a lot of time, honestly. I've been working on these nails for over an hour, considering the shooting. It's okay though. I understand. We're offering a discount on tool selection. I've shown you the base in the parallel discussion. Let me know if you need anything else related to that. About why I'm doing this, because I explained to his wife so she would understand too. She does nails and understands perfectly well that she can handle him quite calmly from now on. Because I've said everything and I think everything will be just fine here. We apply the base. I have a base here named Kauchukova. It's a base that is 100% for me. Just a gel. Well, whoever knows what gel is, knows what gel is. I didn't show it, but I did. Do you understand me? Yes, by the way, I have very little of it left. And at that moment, we went to VB with her to see if they have this gel. It's not always available. I had it in a large volume. This is already not even the 10th jar. I don't even remember which one by count. In general, we regularly work with this gel. I have 2 gels for prosthetics at work, but I often choose this one because it's really good and cool. And now watch as I do the prosthetics. You see, with my thumb I strongly pulled the roller in such a way that I got an extension of the sidewall. This is very, very important. I applied the gel, I don't let go of the big finger, I press it with a flashlight, so to speak, impulsively, if there's such a word. Well, that is, I press it for a second, remove it, press it, remove it. Because our friend in the frame has very strong sensitivities. I wouldn't want to give him a shock content. We took it slow, doing the prosthetics bit by bit, which is why I'm handling them. Despite all this, I still haven't let go of the finger. This is very important, because while the gel is drying, it can still be movable, and the roller is so tight and voluminous that it can push all this out. That's why we hold on and wait until the gel is completely dry. Here I am already applying the second layer, that is, I practically completed the first one. The second one I am applying slightly overlapping the natural nail, in such a way that I get a more or less monolithic structure. I dried it, and as you can see, I dried everything with a manual fan, that is, I didn't even use a lamp. More. And I wait until my gel dries. I specifically leave these frames. We just wait when I am sure that the gel has dried. Now I'm checking with my finger. It's not warm anymore. It's already cooled down. I understand that I can release this roller and start working on the other side. If I don't do this, then quite possibly the roller will continue to push out this gel further. The second side proved more challenging. I'm really struggling and nothing is working out. I know I need to hold it with a tool, and ideally with another person, which is exactly what we did. We chose a cigarette lighter because the metal is still an apple. It can crack from such pressure, and a metal stick is always unbeatable in any situation. That's why my favorite curette, 20 lords I think, to wake up at night. I'll say what a curette is. Here are his wife's hands, which are involved in this event. She stood by my side all this time. I'm saying everything, let's see, so that later, exactly, and for sure. By the way, pay attention, yes, do you see what design? This is our personal print. This is what we did with Jenka and Mina. A plastic on which there is a print of this Molvans, which is the logo of our salon. Well, this is a lyrical digression. While you just watch how I distribute the gel, it helps me to hold even with 2 hands. I hold the 3rd one and spread the 4th one. In general, there was already something like collective work, and it's very cool when there is someone to help. In these moments, I feel like a surgeon, spirit, clamp, scalpel, that's all. Sometimes it helps, and we use it because there are situations when an extra hand is really needed. We also ventilate with small impulses, that is, with small doses, so that he doesn't get worse. Because there was information that the comrade might even go into a coma. I mean, I wouldn't want to reject anyone there, even though there was an idea of such a form of anesthesia. But this is already such a harsh joke when you think, well, in principle, if the client leaves while he is there in a coma, I will quickly manage to do everything. This is a bad idea and should be cancelled immediately. It should not be like this. In general, we all woke up and we ended up with, naturally, such a mess. I'm here right now cleaning up accurately. More precisely, she's cleaning up the cigarette butt, digging it out, and I continue to pull the roller with my finger and hold it. I'm waiting for the gel to dry again because I've already explained why I'm doing this. Here's our nail. It looks like this now. I'm adding a little more volume of this gel. The gel, by the way, pay attention, is kind of a jelly, slightly antistrophic. It's a very pleasant experience that I highly recommend, but it's not possible for everyone. Whoever gets to see it is lucky. I take a file, well, everything is standard here. A Nippon file, it has an abrasive of 180. This is an absolute classic. I will try to just file it off, at least, well, really, sorry somehow, because he really doesn't like it when they file. He doesn't like it when it somehow affects the skin, even a micron. And of course, well, how to hell with all the aesthetics if he finds it unpleasant, if he finds it uncomfortable from this? I'd rather make a crooked nail straight, right? Remember, the wife is a manicure master. She will catch up and finish when he gives her the opportunity. And the most important thing while I'm here finishing up, you watch how all this looks to God. After all, I've already started to approach with a cutter because the saw apparently touches the metal. It's uncomfortable for him, and I maneuvered as best I could. The main idea is that there is no obsession with aesthetics here. There is an obsession with comfort, with the comfort of the person himself. Because we even asked if his wife wasn't a manicure master, what would he do with this finger? He says probably nothing. Well, that is, he says I would just most likely endure it. I would most likely think that, well, now I will have such a finger. It's great that his wife is still doing this and told him he needs to clean and do something with it. They trimmed it, well, not like God himself, but sorry, as best they could. That is, the mat dries quickly, it's okay. The main thing is that it doesn't burn. While the top is drying, I'll show you the oil. You must use the oil here. It's surprising how many people don't give importance to skincare, but it's damn necessary and damn important. Why is it necessary? The oil increases the elasticity and softness of the nail plates, and as a result, it will be much easier to grow the nail. And as you can see now, the shape of the nail plate is more or less close to what we need. And the most important thing, why did I do this? It's so that now the gel will give us the bulges where we need them. It will then be more comfortable and easier for the nail plate to grow, like on rails. That was my plan and message. You can ignore the color. The gel color is now more pink. And yet, aesthetics is the last thing that worries us. We are concerned about comfort in life. And the most important thing he said after this is that now I don't have to worry about this finger hurting. The most crucial aspect is that a person doesn't experience extreme discomfort in their daily life. Thus, I consider the mission accomplished. Everyone did a great job, especially him. He endured, he never gave up or fell off. I'm absolutely not worried about him anymore. The wife will be absolutely thrilled. To all the guys watching, I send a big hello. Meeting you made me very happy. That's all from me for now. Bye-bye. This was Elena with you.